Hey, everybody. If you're following along in the booklet, we're on page 13. We're dealing with cholesterol or cholesterol support. And, at first look, this looks pretty straightforward. It's not just about cholesterol, it's also about liver function. The liver affects so many different areas of the body. But I would also say that part of why the blend works and this process works for it is this process also helps to regulate the back solar plexus and energetically the chakra. And most health issues have a significant issue usually in the back solar plexus. There's been certain conditions where instead of doing a whole process and protocol, I've just treated the back solar plexus, and conditions that were thought to be like very difficult to cure or not curable, now we got a result. And so it doesn't mean that every case is like that, but this blend is more than just treating the liver and cholesterol. So, here we have also a list of conditions that it treats, but let's go ahead and pull out your cholesterol support and let's do this process. So we're inhaling left side of your body from the left side of your face all the way down to the left outer ankle. So now we're doing the front side of your body. The thing that's not, I'm going to keep talking while you're doing it. The thing that's nice is this helps to regulate the back solar plexus, but it's also throwing off lower vibrational energies. I mean, in a way, all the programs do that, but this one you'd say is like more general. It's just more a good cleanup. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths on the right side of your body, right side of your face and neck, shoulder, all the way down to the right outer ankle. Then the back side of the body, back of your head and neck, down your whole back, your hips, and the backs of your legs. And then pause and be still. Now we're going to do the advanced version. The standard version is something you can do daily. You can do it for maintenance. You can do it as you add to another treatment, like if you were treating cholesterol or some digestive tract issue, you could add this Auric program into that. Or you could do a stack. But here we're going to jump in and do the advanced approach. This you might only do once a week, maybe twice at the most. So you're again inhaling the left side of your body. Now you're moving your awareness to the back side of your body. Down the whole back, the back of the head, the hips, all the way down to the heels. And then the right side of your body, the whole right side of your face and neck, your shoulders, all the way down to your ankle. The front side of your body, the whole front side, your face, all the way down to the tops of your feet. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause and let go. You're just being still. Your awareness is on the knees, the whole knee, the front, sides, and back, or at least the just the back. Your awareness is on your knees. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The ankles, your awareness is on the ankles. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the ankle. And then the soles of your feet. And then just pause and be still. Just be still for a moment. Let's begin inhaling the left side of your body, the whole left side, from the side of your face all the way down to the left outer ankle. Your awareness is on the left side. You're doing nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then move your awareness to the front side of the body, the face all the way down to the tops of the feet. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the whole front side of your body. The right side of the body, from the right side of the face all the way down to the right outer ankle. The right side of your body, nice, long, slow, deep breath. The back side of the body, the whole back side, from the back of the head all the way down to the heels. Nose up, feeling also good. Yeah, at the back side of your body, you're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause and let go. Just being still. Inhaling again, your awareness is on the brain. Your awareness is on the spine. Your brain and spine both at the same time. Your brain and soles of your feet both at the same time. You're inhaling, you're moving your awareness up above the ankle. As you exhale, your exhalation goes down into the earth. And then just be still. Just be still. Notice how you feel. How do you feel? Now, to better treat cholesterol, you might want to even take a little bit of this internally, like a few drops of the blend. But the Auric program is very helpful for treating cholesterol, displacing lower vibrational energy, and helping to regulate the back solar plexus. So, anyway, let's go ahead and share experiences. Unmute.
Yeah, go ahead, Laura.
Hey, hey.
Hey, Greg. Um, well, that just totally spaced me out.
I know you wouldn't think it, huh?
I was totally spaced out. I was having to look at my notes to see where I was. But that was really good. I do have a question that
Sure.
is not related to this, but related to the bigger picture of it.
Mhm.
Um, I had misplaced my kit. So I am behind. Is it better to start at the beginning and do it
No,
sequentially?
not at all. We're just kind of doing a journey where we want to go through and experience each one of the oils. As we go through, it's such a big kit that there's no way that we could touch it in a weekend. And even if we powered through a bunch of them, it kind of gets lost on, I've done 15 other ones today. I just feel relaxed. I feel, you know what I mean? And so going through and like doing one a week, it really helps you to kind of get what that blend is, because they all feel a little different and a little unique. And even like this one, here we're talking about that it regulates the back solar plexus, displaces lower vibrational energy, two energetic components, but it also impacts all the functions on the liver. But if you look at the blend, this is one of the simplest blends out of all the oils. It's just rosemary verbenin with some cypress. And that is kind of the old traditional protocol for cholesterol in medical aromatherapy. And, over the years, I tried to make some like more potent versions of this, and just these two oils together are very potent. But if you look at what rosemary does is it's also very toning to the sympathetic part of the nervous system, which we're always talking about fight, flight, and rest and repair, but it's fight, flight, and also like activity, excuse me, and then rest and repair is also digest, right? And so they both need a certain amount of tone to be able to be balanced and work in a harmonious way. Most times it's the parasympathetic or the rest and repair mode that is diminished, but it can be like, especially under like a lot of stress and things, it can be the other part. It can be, fatigue, and it can be being worn out, and, the adrenals being kicked in because you're running a little tired, and your body's not functioning quite like it should. And so a lot of times this can become an issue because we've been running like maybe slightly tired or slightly fatigued for a period of time. And the way the body handles it is by kicking in the adrenals and like a real low grade amount. But over a period of time, the amount has to keep increasing. And so what happens is that part of the nervous system, that it's associated with activity and fight flight, it can lose its tone, and it can cause this like weird, chaotic cascading thing through the body. And so when you go through and tone it, it allows for rest and repair to function better, and it allows for the activity to function better. So, that's the thing is like
It's like
you use something that You think about rosemary, it's like what you could start the beginning of the day with. It's, it's not super stimulating, but it's kind of stimulating and definitely stimulating to the mind. And, it's not something you use if you want to go to bed right away. But when the nerve is lacking some tone and you do it, you do kind of go, ugh, because rosemary also is a stimulant, which means stimulating proper function for the adrenals. So it's not just hitting that nerve, it's also hitting the adrenals. And so you're kind of like calming the adrenals. So when you say stimulate in medical aromatherapy, it means just proper function. So if the adrenals need to calm down, you still like stimulate it to like proper function for it to regulate itself. And so the the thing with the adrenals and the nerve and then the liver and the back solar plexus, this one can be a quiet one that sneaks up on you and just kind of slips you into a kind of a mellow, chill place. Like Samantha was like, man, I feel chill, right? And it's not
So
like
did I.
sleepy, but like, you know, feeling pretty mellow. And so, you wouldn't think of that with cholesterol blend, but you go through and you do this process, you can see like, even if I'm having a stressful day or something, you could use it for that.
So I have another question.
Mhm.
That because of the way it you were talking, is
Mhm.
there another oil in this kit that is good to pair up with this one?
Well, it depends on what you were be targeting. In a way, if you just want to go like let's explore some combinations, and of course, we always try to hit like therapeutic markers or therapeutic goals. Like, okay, I'm trying to treat this condition or whatever. But sometimes, like you say, things can kind of go together and they just have like a potent impact, but it's not like it's for this condition. You know what I mean? So, like, if you threw out the conditions aside, I would do this with Splendor. Um, I would probably do it. What's that one where it's stimulating the body? I think it's just body processes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like stimulating the body's processes. And then I mean, if we're just exploring, I might throw allergy support in there.
Interesting.
It's a like a little concoction that I wouldn't say like, hey, go use it to treat this or this like what are we looking at? Go use it to treat heartburn or psoriasis or something like that, but cholesterol. But if you look at them, like this one hits that sympathetic nerve and it hits the adrenals. The Splendor hits the limbic function, which is kind of tied to those instinctual responses and things like that. Um, the allergy support is also tied to like your body being triggered somewhat. And then the body processes is you're stimulating everything to proper function. And so you're kind of like looking at this weird, like addressing like it might not be agitation, but like a reactiveness in the body, and then trying to stimulate the proper function. Like you could almost call it like even the stacks, we all have names, names for it does this or it does that. It could almost be like a thing that's just very toning, not quite stress relief, not quite, anything in particular, but it's just because we don't have a name for it. Like it does something, but we can't go, it's blah, 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 blah. Like but it does something.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, experiment with that and let me know how it goes.
I will do that. Thank you.
Sometimes when I'm playing with Auric programs, that's what I do is I like get these weird combinations that like if I just throw out all the parameters, what ones like would hang out with each other at a party. You know what I mean? Like they like each other, they like interacting with each other, they want to be friends. And it's not always what you would think.
And
Thank
then
you.
go ahead, Terry Lynn.
Hey,
Oh, sorry, I just muted you. Sorry.
That's
Okay.
okay. We worked it out, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, number one, I apologize for missing class last week. I had an MRI. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So I was kind of drugged out. So I apologize. Number two, I came home totally frantic, rushing to get here, and then to let the dogs in the house and everything. It kept breaking me out of focus.
uh-huh,
However, I just kept coming back
uh-huh.
over and over again. And I think you used the word groovy. I think that's
Right.
the word, but I definitely feel super groovy.
Isn't it kind of interesting? Because it's like, kind of going back to what I was saying with Laura, is that, as much as we do mystical practices and everything, they're still part of the intellect, and it's still good to be able to go, okay, this is good for this condition, this is good for that condition. But one of the things about exploring these oils is they're capable of so much more other than what we go, this is what I'm going to use for this. And when you
Right,
just go, like, I'm just going to do this, I'm going to see what happens. There's a lot of depth and in an oil by itself or a blend that does things that is beyond just what our mind recognizes. And if it's like you're giving yourself permission to have that, like you said, you come out feeling groovy, like that,
I
it's
did.
not necessarily like, oh, I treated my cholesterol. It would be a benefit. But like when you just go, I'm just going to play with this. I'm just going to play with this. I'm going to see what it does, which is kind of what we've been doing every week. We've been hitting all these different ones. And, even for me, when we go and play with it, I was like, man, I could use this so much more. It's like I get it more than all the stuff that's written. And I've been playing with these for like a while, but
Right.
sometimes there's so much going on. Like I've done other protocols, or I'm doing them with a couple other oils, or who knows, that you
Yeah.
don't really get to sit with each one and like make friends with it. You know what I mean? And go like, tell me your story. Tell me what's going on. Like, and then when you do, you're like, oh God, there's so much that can unwind with this.
True, true. And it groovied out my dog. Well, I don't know if you can
Oh,
see him.
tremendous.
So, affected those around me, which is
Oh,
great
good.
because now he's sleeping, which is weird. So, and then let's see, I haven't had a chance to read the newsletter, but is last week's program in the newsletter?
Yes, I
Okay,
think.
So last week's recording practice is actually, I just sent the email out within this hour. And so it has the recording from last weekend in that.
perfect. Thank you. And then I know you do private sessions.
Mhm.
Um, my MRI did not go well.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry. Mhm.
and they're squeezing me into another neurology appointment. I have two doctor's appointments on Thursday. So it's getting kind of escalated.
Okay.
Um, I want to have a conversation with you,
Yeah.
like
Like,
see
we'll
how I,
post text me at this number. She's going to post the number for you. And then that
okay,
way I can just interact with you directly.
okay. I mean, I know that you do paid sessions. I want to pay you because
Hmm.
you're phenomenal and you're worth it.
Oh, you're very
Uh,
sweet.
So I don't want to do just text messages. I want to do like,
No, just set up the appointment. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I think that's it.
Perfect. Yeah, so
Thank you.
text me and we'll work out a time.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then go ahead, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, in your conversation there with Terry, it just sparked a thing I wanted to ask you about. You were talking about, experimenting in one sense with the oils, and getting to know. So I had the impulse this week I was working with peppermint because I was trying to open like my bronchioles or my airway with
Sure.
something different. And then I had the impulse to do like the Auric programming with it. And I just wondered about that because, we have 49 oils in our kit, and yet we have all these other oils. And what is it to do this kind of a process with that?
Right.
I did
I
do it. I mean, I did do it because I thought, well, it can't hurt.
right.
And I can't say that I actually noticed any difference, but I was just curious about that.
So you could do a couple of things. So with you're wanting to open up the bronchioles, but the first thing that I'd say is like using peppermint, like even this blend with this program that we just did, those two would go really well together. Again, the peppermint stimulating body's processes, it does open up the bronchioles a bit, but with this cholesterol support or this cholesterol program, is you're working the liver and the back solar plexus and things like that. So you work the program, but peppermint also is a thing that would make the liver jumpstart like a detoxification process. So like if you're trying to go through and detoxify the liver, you wouldn't use peppermint the whole time, but like the first couple of times you kind of get it to like prime the pumps. And then you would use other things like, Greenland moss or carrot or something like that, helichrysum to flush other things out of the liver. But the initial thing can be the peppermint. And so, if you wanted to, like, again, if we're just playing with experimenting and you're wanting to open up the bronchioles, um, so you could take your single oil, like peppermint, you could use it to kind of prime the pumps again, like just start to open up the sinuses and respiratory tract. Then I do like sinus support, I do like respiratory support, and
Allergies?
allergies is probably your best bet, because again, it's not even just about allergies, but it's about a non-reactiveness in the respiratory tract and in the body. And then if you were to throw another single oil on there that's just for fun, like larch, hyssop, all the ones that we talk about opening up the bronchioles, German chamomile, anula, amivasnaga, spruces can do it.
Yeah, I've just been really noticing. I think it's because of the season and allergies
Yeah,
are starting.
Well,
It's that time when it's like I can't take a deep breath without coughing. It's like you
yeah.
just breathe in too deep and it's like, oh, not up.
Peppermints are probably a good choice just because um, I don't know that I would say it's great for allergies, but I would say it's great for like some of the effects of allergies. Other oils have like an antihistamine effect, but the peppermint will kind of offset, like, the nose is really backed up or, whatever it is. It's good for like stimulating processes. So it's a good like point man. Like, cinnamon can be that way, different, but still can be that way where, it stimulates the body's processes. So you can use that as like an initial way of starting to treat and then follow with other things. But,
Yeah, I turned to the peppermint because I've been using all the other things and it really hadn't been getting it. And that I've
so is it
sometimes
just like in the chest or is it like in the throat or
it
just,
feels like, well, like I said, I would describe it as the bronchioles. It's like I go to breathe in and it's like there's just not enough air and then I have to cough and I can't take a deep breath. It's like I start
and
to
have
breathe
you
in and it's
tried,
like suddenly it's like that upper chest tightness and it
have
doesn't.
you, have you tried larch?
Yeah, I use the large tincture
Mm.
every night on my chest. I often diffuse it at night. Um, I've done the allergies, sinus support, pulmonary stress support, or programming stack.
Mhm.
Um, but this last couple weeks, it's been like something else. And that's why I took the peppermint and I put it up on the roof of my mouth, and it's like, whoo, that kind of opened things up for a moment, but it didn't really last.
Yeah, I would say there's constrictions. I mean, I think you're on the right track.
Mhm.
The thing that I would say is, when we have those constrictions, we think of like, okay, the bronchioles, maybe the diaphragm,
Mhm.
things like that. But I think some of yours might also be the skeletal muscle. And you
Okay.
have muscles that help to elevate the rib cage and help in the function of respiration.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we have issues in there, um, the the ability to lift and expand the rib cage becomes greatly reduced. And so, we think of it as, oh, what's going on with my lungs, but it's the wrapping around the lungs. And it looks like for you, we'll send a picture of it. It's called the serratus anterior, and it's over on the side.
Yeah.
Um, kind of, let me find
Kind
that.
of getting under the arm there.
Yeah, it's like it's on the side, but it's kind of up towards the armpit, not completely. But we're gonna send a photo here to you in just a
Thank
second.
you.
And when
Oh, nice. Robert actually already had it, Greg.
Okay,
From maybe
perfect.
days
Yeah,
before.
like we've talked about it before.
I'm gonna still share it in the big screen for you guys as
Thank you.
well here. Okay, do you want to see what we're looking at so you can
No,
point out?
yeah. So you kind of see where that muscle is located.
Yeah.
So what happens when you start to have an activated trigger point in this area is you can't get the ribs open. Like you can't get them, like even if you get them up a little bit, they won't like expand. And
Yeah.
so it's very similar to what it would feel like if you had a bronchial constriction. And in a way, the bronchioles do constrict a little bit because you're having to strain so hard to have a breath. Your neck muscles are working harder, like everything's working harder. You have these little muscles up in here that help to elevate, and everything's working hard. But that area, sometimes it will even cause like a stitch in the side. How like if you drink a bunch of water and went for a run and you get that like weird cramp on the side,
Yeah.
it can do that as well. Sometimes people will associate it with, if it's on the right side, they'll think they have liver pain, but it's actually that. And so there's all these different manifestations of that. But when that is tight, it's really hard on the diaphragm, it's really hard on the neck, but it's also hard on the bronchioles. And I would say you're doing all the right things, and I would keep doing some of them, but I would put something on the side, like in that area, and probably like in an ointment. And there's a bunch of different things that you could choose, but if you had helichrysum and you put
You-
in like a little massage oil or something and rubbed it on both those sides, and like after you rub it in, like just kind of rub it for like 30 seconds and then do the other side, it will probably unwind within a few days. One of the other ones that you could rotate in there, I like helichrysum best for that, for what we're talking about. It's different sometimes on different people, but you could also eventually maybe throw a little ginger at it, or has it been going on for a really long time?
Yeah, I mean, you totally hit the nail on the head. I mean, I have so many issues with my whole musculoskeletal system,
Yeah,
and I know exactly what you're talking about because I'm always trying to lift my chest and stretch it and
yeah,
open it and all of that. So you're totally on the
yeah.
mark. So yeah, this has been going on like
So
eons.
another one you might want to throw in the mix
Yeah.
is wintergreen, but like if you
Okay.
look at that blend APR, it's got wintergreen and helichrysum in it.
Yeah, I have APR. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you could throw that in the mix. If you had the helichrysum, I'd do the helichrysum by itself at first.
Okay.
The reason to use like wintergreen on something like this, a lot of times we think of it as like, oh, it's a good pain reliever, it's a good, soother, it's good for arthritis or whatever. But wintergreen is really good for like chronic, like areas of tension or spasms that have been in the body. There's like the spasm, like, oh, this is tight or that hurts or something. But sometimes we have these like spasms in the body that have like kind of helped us to like keep posture, or it's because of a leg imbalance or a shoulder's rotated or something. We just have something off. And so the body will kind of lock. For me, sometimes it's because I spend so much time like leaning forward, is that like I'll get stuff in the between the shoulder blades from always like leaning forward and like doing things. And
Mhm.
so it's the same idea. Like you might have a repetitive motion that you do, or you stand for a period of time, or sit for a period of time, or you're in a particular sleep position. It could be all kinds of reasons. But
Mostly the computer, I think, for
yeah,
me.
computer's a perfect
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And so the areas in your body will start to get kind of like rigid. It's almost like they start to act like bones, which mean they just start to like support you rather than moving. So they'll kind of like tighten up so that they can help you maintain a posture that you're not on your, standing on your spine in the alignment of a spine, which none of us do,
Mhm.
right? But your body's made for like, okay, everything's kind of straight, everything's relaxed, I can relax my muscle tissue, but we're doing stuff. And so in doing that, your body will start to take on these like weird like tension areas to help you maintain a particular posture. And so that area, like you just need to work it for a while. And I'd rotate some different oils through there. Start with helichrysum, and then maybe a little wintergreen or APR or something like that, and then just kind of keep working it. But that should, within a couple of applications, it should start changing.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you so much. I'm going to go do that right now.
yeah. Keep us posted though.
Okay, I will.
Okay, guys, so we still have quite a few chat questions and shares from the Auric programming. So we're going to go through those, and then we're going to get into the regular Q&A. But if you want to raise your hand right now for the regular Q&A, please go ahead. But we are going to continue with the Auric and somatic programming questions that are in chat. Sorry, we've gone through a lot so far. Okay, so somebody shared, my body feels clear and strong, especially during those last two segments.
Oh, good. Yeah. Good.
All right, let me get these questions in here for you guys. Can we do one of these plus the plant essences daily, back to back in the same session, or should we do one in the AM and one before bed?
What's the plant essences?
You can go ahead and type in to clarify what the plant essences are. While they type in, I'm going to go ahead
Yeah,
because we have so many. When you say focus on the brain and focus on spine, do we include the brain stem with the brain process or with the spinal process?
Either way. Yeah, it's more about the brain up here and the spine itself. You don't have to do the whole piece, but if you want, either way.
When Greg says the nerve, is that the vagus nerve?
It's I just refer to it as the accelerator nerve. Yeah.
Should we think of the energy traveling through the body, or will it word to energies of the whole side at once?
Just put your awareness on the area and breathe the oils. Like visualizing doesn't always help. Sometimes it actually, because there might be more things going on, and the visualization might be actually inhibiting some of the processes. So just put your awareness on an area and then inhale.
Because sometimes I find myself doing whole side at once, while at others, traveling down the body.
Oh, do the whole side at once. Yeah, better to do a whole side at once.
Last week, I had some medical tests done, and my cholesterol came out high at 204, where the normal range is 120 to 200. Additionally, my low density cholesterol came out 126, where the range is up to 110. Also, my blood sugar levels was slightly high at 93. What do you recommend?
93 is not high for the blood sugar. I would do the thing that we just did today, and then I would also take cholesterol support internally. You know, get like a 5 ml bottle and like 3 drops daily. You could actually do it twice a day. If you also want to augment, helichrysum is also good for cholesterol. And we also have a CO2 of a plant called Google, like Guggul. That's also good for cholesterol. And so, but between that, you know, unless the issue is, you know, genetic, like sometimes the process doesn't necessarily respond right off the bat. So you treat for a while, and then you can make some adjustments. Sometimes with women, you know, the cholesterol support is rosemary, verbena, and cypress. But sometimes, for some reason, in women, we need to switch out the cypress for Spanish sage. And you know, I can make that for you if that's what needs to happen. But I would say it's only maybe about 10 or 15% of the time. So I would move forward with the normal cholesterol support and you know, treat that for a little while. You'll also do things that are supportive of the kidneys as well, or not kidneys, the liver. But I mean, that's a good place to start. So.
So when the person was referring to the plant essences, they were referring to the plant teachers in the Crystal Skull class.
No, you could do them together. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good combo.
Yeah. They were asking, would you do one in the AM, one in the PM?
No, you do them both in the evening.
And then
Like for me at night, I crank in and I do 3 or 4 different processes because, you know, I don't have the day. So I sit down and I'm like, you know, kind of the idea of the mashup classes that we're going to be doing this next weekend, where you take 2 or 3 classes and put them together and you start pulling from all the different classes. It's a way to explore that. So I would definitely encourage you to do that with those 2 classes.
And just because you did mention the APR, they're asking APR has helichrysum and what else? What's in APR?
Oh, it's like wintergreen, and I have to look it up.
Somebody has it. So it's wintergreen, helichrysum, clove, and galbanum. And I'll post that here
Yeah,
for
there
you.
you
And then that does conclude our programming week 10. We'll be doing week 11 next week, and that will be your communication support oil. So
fun.
communication next week.
Fun.
It will be fun. All right, and go ahead, Lolly, start us out.
Hey.
Hi. So thank you for that. That was really good, the process. I was totally out. I was like, how am I
Isn't it
still...
amazing?
Yes, yeah. And I was taking it also internally for a while. Then I'm taking a small break. I probably would have to go back on it. I'm waiting for blood tests that I took yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it's amazing how it's so just relaxing. So thank you for that.